I do remember what Daddy started brick work. He was working on the farm, and my uncle, Rudolph Cooks, he had a construction company in Philadelphia. He didn't work just a few days, and they started him to laying brick. I remember the first brick job he had when he went on his own. It was out from Sebastopol. Dwayne and I made mortar for him. We didn't even have a wheelbarrow. We didn't have anything to carry the brick with. 5-gallon buckets. And we hold it in a box. That was a hot deal. We just finished school, and the next day we started. Would have been around 64, I imagine, when we started making the mortar for the first time. I remember when I laid my first ones. I started laying brick with Daddy on his jobs. I would make the mortar, and then he would teach me to lay some brick. I learned enough about it that I could kind of handle it. I had to be taught how to lay out a house. You figure how many brick is going to be in the wall, and then you know where you got to start. You just don't start laying brick on it. I started out like that, and then when I went on my own, Daddy actually helped me some. I went to college, 2 years at East Central, then 1 year at Lee College, and then I married, and then I started some where I was pastoring. I'd take a little job, and then it just developed into more and more and more. And when I came back here around 86, Daddy had already given it up. He was still able to lay brick, but he didn't have anything going. He would help me some of those jobs. I usually would leave the fireplaces to him because he was a real good fireplace bricklayer. I don't know how many houses I bricked myself, but it wasn't nothing compared to what he had laid over the years.
Well, at the time we built this house here, it started in 52. Sue was just a little thing. She was born in August of 9th, I believe. We started this Thanksgiving Day of 19 of that year she was born. Well, I was a jack of all trades. I could do twisted wires and, simple circuits. Of course, your daddy knows a lot more about lining up three-phase, I guess three-phase meters than I do. But I could do most anything, patch on something, or do things like that. And when it comes to laying a few blocks around for a foundation, I could do that. But I was not a bricklayer. Well, we had row crop farming here for a lot of the time after I got out of service. And you needed a little regular income in cash. It needed a lot more than that. But anyway, Louise got her a job at the shirt factory in Newton, and I was still trying to farm and field with cotton and corn and whatever. So Rudolph, her brother, was pastor the Pentecostal church in Philadelphia, and the Cookses, they love Carter, and he trying to give his church members a job, formed a little construction company. They'd build houses, nice houses. Because Rudolph never had farm, but he had done not masonry, but he had done building, construction. So Louis was up there one day and she asked him, did he have anything that I could do? And he said, yeah, I'll come here Monday morning and help Martis, Millie Martis was laying brick. He'd picked up the trade, and he was laying brick, and he said, I could help artists. Well, they didn't have a wheel bar. They had a mortar box, but you sand and cement, stir it up with a hoe. But I carried the mortar to the bricklayer in a 5-gallon bucket, and that's work. And then carried the brick in my arm. Didn't have brick top. I done that for a long time, and Uncle Will Cooksey, that's Louis's uncle, he was foreman of the job. He said, Rudolph, he says he needs a wheel bar, whatever. So he got me a wheel bar. Then later, they did get a cement. But anyway, that was a great help. That wheel bar just so you mud in there and go perfect and throw it on the mortar. That was a great improvement. In 1960, bricklayers don't work on Labor Day. We had gone to Huntsville, Alabama. Your parents remember it. The Red family reunion in Huntsville. Uncle Johnny Red was working at Redstone. Wasn't making no rockets. So we came home. But I think I had started laying a little brick before that event. When we came home on Labor Day, the next day I went to County Line, that's where Martis lived, and we'd go to the job together. Martis had 2 small tractors who lived in Nashville. One was a Super A, and another was it was a small tractor. Me and him went to Eastern Shore to do lay a brick on a house. Martis had hired a black man to bush hog or something around the pot over there, or the place where he lived in County Line. And it got stuck. And as Martis's wife could drive the other tractor, so she cranks it up, goes down there, and they hooked a chain or something way up high on the thing, and when she started working. It didn't kill her there, but she died within 2 or 3 hours after that. Well, Martis, I reckon Rudolph knew then, that Martis might not be regular, because some of the loss of his wife, I reckon trying to take care of the 4-year-old boy. And so he elevated my bricklaying skill to, I accepted brickwork. But I had laid enough brick that I could basically, take care of it. But so that's been 60, where we are now. So that's the beginning of professional, I guess you could call that, bricklaying. Well, John, a bricklayer now gets $30 an hour. We got $3 at union scale. And that seemed like big money, because the common man is getting $1 an hour right here. He bought the same groceries we bought. And I thought, well, my goodness, that is good. But when you think about the way inflation and things is taking things, $3 an hour, what minimum wage, $6, $7 an hour?